Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's me, Crunk Chocolate, and I am here with Breaking Bread. It is a show where we break verbal bread with a quote unquote enemy. Whenever Manchester City has an upcoming match, I will be here having a conversation with a supporter of City's upcoming opponent. Shout out to all you watching on YouTube. Hey, hi, hello, how's it going? Twitch, Twitter, if you could like, retweet, quote tweet, all those things. Let's just bring the people in here. Let's bring in a nice little family. Comment, subscribe, all those things. You know the vibes by now in this world of digital media. Wonderful show tonight. Oh my goodness. Manchester City, we're on the road to Molyneux Stadium to take on the Wolfpack. Wolverhampton are a little down on their luck, though. But maybe catching City after an international break might be a good thing for them. And how did I forget Tommy Doyle? I'm excited to see Tommy Doyle. But here to talk Wolves with us, the most dope homie. We know him. He is our primary Wolverhampton mind here, as Shades of Blue. Give it up for Joshua Buckley.
Hey, thanks, Crunk. Appreciate it. And of course, I always got to start off the show. Fuck Matheus Nunes.
I knew it's gonna come, but hey, I think this is a record which we've had you on numerous times. So having this being a record it's something,
Hey, I appreciate it.
Oh man. Well, let's start off with you telling us a little bit about Whole Lot of Wolves.
Yeah, so we are the first US based Wolverhampton Wanderers podcast. We're in our 5th season right now. We have a lot of fun. We do previews. We talk about the last game. We have a segment called No Stupid Questions where some of our listeners can send in questions as long as it's Wolves related. And we use that very loosely. You can have fun. And tonight we recorded our show and we actually had a seance to hopefully cure our defensive woes. So we try and make it interesting.
Oh man, nobody had any like flickering lights or anything. If any,
no, I had a candle.
Oh, nice. Hopefully, one of your co-hosts don't go missing in the morning or something.
We can afford to lose one if it means
Wolves. Hey, whatever we got to do.
Yeah,
undefeated
right?
for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah,
title.
Yeah,
completely worth it. Who was that person anyway?
Yeah, take one for the team.
Oh, I love it. Well, we've had you on, and this is a question that we bounce around and bring different guests on. So I'm trying to figure out how I can spin this up, especially when Wolves are so down at this moment. But what is something that has nothing to do with, I guess, the play on the field for why you love Wolverhampton FC?
It's a scrappy bunch. It's not getting results right now, but I feel it's a very likable team that they have this year. A lot of cool personalities. Matheus Cunha, really exciting. Mario Lamina, he's a good guy. The team has a lot of guys who are easy to root for because of their personalities, unlike Matheus Nunes.
And how is the cult? I mean, obviously you'll know more about the American culture, but you've been, like you said, the first Wolves podcast, so you've been able to see the growth around here in the US. So how has that been? How has the culture of the US Wolves fan been?
So it was actually really interesting. Wolves came to the US this summer for preseason for the first time since the 80s. And they did a 3-stop tour. They did Jacksonville, Annapolis, and Fort Lauderdale. And the Annapolis game was against Crystal Palace on a Wednesday night. We had 4,000 Wolves fans in attendance at that game.
Oh,
It filled up top to bottom of a few of like a third of the stadium. Like
that's
it was really fantastic. Other games not as well attended, just because Florida's a little tougher to get to. But
I mean, it's
that match really was eye-opening for us as supporters to see, like, oh, there's a lot of us, and for the club as well. They said, yeah, we're used to kind of playing preseason games in front of like 100 people somewhere in Spain, and here there were 4,000 screaming fans.
Mhm.
We were
Right.
singing and cheering the whole game, and that was a real good eye opener to show how Wolves have grown through the US, and hopefully will continue to do so. But gotta get some results to build that fan base.
Absolutely embarrassing. I apologize. We'll keep it moving though. So fan base, it's growing. That's exciting. I mean, I've been able to see it because I went to this year's, but I also went to Texas 4 years ago.
Right.
And even that, the energy, the culture, what I want to say is we're now having the people showing up, which is nice, but I would love to see passion. There was just a
Right.
lot of people, like I can't tell you how many people I truly went to. I just went, come on, City, and they just like, yeah. And I'm just
Well,
like,
it's different.
yeah,
It's
I
a different
understand, but
uh,
you got like even if you're a Packers fan, a Cowboys fan, whatever, if we say go Packers, they're gonna go what?
yeah.
Like do the same thing. Just do the same thing.
Mhm.
Match my energy. Worst case, if I go, come on,
Yeah.
City, just do what I do. Like that's. I mean, I've obviously been in it. I wanted to immerse myself into it, the culture. I understand it. Blah 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 blah. But I'm just saying that's also part of the problem people have with Manchester City is, we're showing up, we're showing the money, but is there any heart? And so
Right.
I want to at least be a part of the people here in the US where saying, hey guys, we gotta try. Hey guys, we gotta try. It's good to show up, but like yell something. I was at the game in New York, and
Mhm.
Sal was Carva Mundial. He was on our lit stream on Thursday, and he mentioned it as well. The stadium was basically 95% Man City fans, and there was a reason
No
for
surprise.
yes. And the moment where most City fans were standing up and being excited, it was when Christian Pulisic came on. But like the
Yeah,
whole
man.
stadium
There's
lost it. And I
yeah.
get it, he's an American player, but like there were no City players announced, their names announced or shown on a screen. Like even Holland, they were excited, but they weren't excited as Pulisic. And
Mhm.
so I was just like, bro, this is I get it, but like
The Wolves fans, especially at the Annapolis game, like we had a pretty rowdy crowd. Now we had a big pregame at a brewery beforehand, which may have
as you
helped with that.
should. And I mean,
But yeah, I mean, we had a whole bunch of the fans, and we were in the very front row and starting chants and everything. So it was a lot of fun.
yeah, good. Good. All right, we'll keep it moving to the transfer window. Uh Wolverhampton, they said goodbye to Pedro Neto to Chelsea. That money,
Yeah, that money was nice.
right?
Unfortunately, we spend it all, but hey,
Exactly. So like Kilman also left to West Ham, Podence to the Saudi League. And like you said, you spent all of it and some. Andre Rodrigo Gomes. I don't know if I said his name right because I love the thing that the word Holmes, Homs, like it could go anywhere. I love it. Sam Johnstone, Pedro Lima, Bastian Muepe. I can't say his full name, so that's why I'm gonna leave it there. And Tommy Doyle. Oh my
that's right.
goodness.
Tommy Doyle.
Excited to see him, but I really hope he doesn't ball out on us. But I kind of hope he does because, I still have a soft spot for him in my heart. But 113 million euros spent. Woo! And you sit last in the Premier League. Woo! Like, what's going on? Like, were any of them?
Look.
Like, I know.
Look. We've had a very hard schedule to start off. You look at our schedule; it's super, super ridiculous. I mean, we got to open up the season at Arsenal. We've had Chelsea at home. We're getting you guys fairly early. There's just Liverpool. There's been a lot of very tough games. So we always knew the first 3 months were going to be a struggle. November and December is where we're going to need to pick up points. There are some people that are disappointed with the transfer window because a lot of people wanted a center back to replace Kilman, and they were worried that, we don't really have the depth there. I felt like after the transfer window, we were okay. We got Andre, who was, kind of going to be a hybrid, just good defensive midfielder. The issue now that's happened is we didn't get a center back in the transfer window, and we had our best one, Yerson Mosquera, blew out his knee, and we have been hemorrhaging goals. So we've been trying to back four. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. So we're probably going to be doing a back five, back three this weekend. And we don't have the depth because we didn't spend it on any type of defenders other than Pedro Lima at right back, who we've seen him in the Carabao Cup, but we haven't seen him yet in a Premier League game. I'm personally, I left that transfer window saying this was the third best transfer window we've had since we got sent back up to the Premier League. I still feel good about it. I like the guys that came in. Jurgen Strand Larson is a great number 9. He's a great addition. We haven't seen as much of Rodrigo Gomez or Pedro Lima that we would have liked. But yeah, Andre has really been spectacular since he came in. A real calming presence. And whenever he's off the pitch, you do see a difference in the way Wolves play. And then Tommy Doyle. Tommy Doyle's just kind of behind in the depth chart right now through no fault of his own. He's awesome, but we have 2 Brazilian internationals and our team captain in Mario Lemina, so it's tough to get on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been the story of Tommy Doyle's career, even at Man City. That's why he keeps getting loaned away. But even the teams that he would get loaned to, he would seem to have to fight to start there. And when he would start, he would create magic in moments, and he's good at doing that, but that doesn't where's the consistency? And
well, I think that consistency, it's there. Like I said, he's just kind of behind some really talented guys. But Tommy Doyle's somebody that will be a Wolves team captain in the next 2 to 3 years. We're pretty certain of that.
Okay. Well, then let me back off of Tommy Doyle a little bit. Okay. Well, let's move to Gary O'Neill. Was appointed as the manager of Wolverhampton in the 22-23 campaign. They ended 13th. Not too bad, but 14th last year. And now you're sitting last. Is Gary O'Neill the guy?
Again, it's really tough because the schedule has been so hard. Last year, he took a team that Lopetegui had walked out on and really had us humming for a while, and then we just got devastated with injuries. At one point, we were missing our best 5 players because of injury, and you're going to end up in 14th place when something like that happens.
That's fair.
Now, the criticism that's coming now, he wanted to switch to a back 4. We're finding out we don't have the personnel to run a back four. It's just the way it is, especially now with Mosquera hurt. And so it's kind of been pushing it. How much longer is he going to push the back four? Some of his substitutions are a little shaky. So there are a lot of people that want him gone. There's others like me that want to see him around through at least the end of December, because I do think November, December, we have a chance to get, 15 points in those matches, maybe more, hopefully. But I think unless we can pull off a shock against you guys or at Brighton, the game coming up at the beginning of November at Southampton is going to be key for Gary O'Neill keeping his job. If he struggles in that one, probably the next international break, or even just like right after that, he could be gone, which is unfortunate. I do like him. I do think he's going to be. I do think he's a good manager, and I don't want to be one of those squads that's constantly turning over. But something does have to change.
That is kind of the name of the game nowadays.
Unless you're Man City.
I mean, well, we have Pep and we're not losing.
I know, right?
There's no need to lose a manager. But
That's right.
in this system, hey, and Pep says it all the time. Hey, you get away with things when you win. So how he acts, the way City plays, whatever, et cetera, however you feel about City, we get away with it because we win. So, like, I get it. He could play with four in the back, and if you guys were higher in the table, you'd be like, hey, let's welcome it.
Right. No, for sure. And I had hopes, and we've got issues at the ownership level. How much are they really wanting to invest in the club and everything like that? So
what's the whole ownership situation at Wolf?
So we're owned by a Chinese company, Fosun, and the chairman who runs Wolves, not probably the best PR type guy. They raised ticket prices a lot, which really irritated the locals. And then to double down on it, he put a editorial in the newspaper that basically said, hey, if you want to support a team that wins trophies all the time, Wolves probably aren't for you. Maybe not the best thing to say.
And the prices. That's crazy.
Yeah. Raise the prices. There were rumors we had some deals lined up in the transfer window, and he was like, no, I don't want to spend that much. He sent an email. People were sending him emails, and we had really one of the shining stars of the Wolverhampton fan base had sent him an email about how this could affect mental health amongst the fans. And the chairman wrote back and said, don't be sad, mate. So there are some issues here.
Try this. Don't be sad.
Yeah, don't be sad, mate.
You're fixed. It's fixed.
Yep. Hashtag don't be sad, mate.
Easy, right? So, yeah. It's not that hard. Oh, man. Okay. Well, I'm sorry for that experience.
It is what it is. So we're just at this point, hey, let's get through this month and then hope November and December are good and we're not looking at the bottom of the table at the end of December, because then we could be in some big trouble.
Yeah. And it was just shared on social media that Manchester City are possibly doing away with season tickets. So
interesting.
Yes, and that's not a good sign, because if someone as big as Manchester City can do something like this and get away with it, all the money followers will money follow. And I worry that could be a thing. And it's unfortunate, because that's kind of the only way people can save money in the first place. The prices are already going up, and the reason why they bought Manchester City was, yes, because they saw the investment in the growth that the team could do, but it was also because of the people there and everything that they've been doing in the last few years financially has kind of been undermining, what Manchester City represents, and it's really tough to see that. I mean, I'm all the way over here, but
Right.
it's I communicate with a lot of people over there because I want to be as like tapped in as much as I can, and yeah, I know I'm having these conversations with people, and they're upset, they're confused, they like this is things that they have been doing since they were kids, and their parents have been doing since they were kids, and for that opportunity to now go away, that's literally like a part of them that is now literally being taken away from them. And it's like insane that it's
Yeah,
so.
it's a really odd strategy, especially since when these 8,000 charges, FFP charges finally come down and you guys are relegated to League One, I would think you'd want season tickets.
The money, well, and that's the problem. The money's not going anywhere. They have this deal with WWE, like they just had Cody Rhodes up at the Etihad.
Look,
Like,
they're owned by oil, right? I mean,
yeah,
there's always
well,
going to be money.
there's that too, but I'm just saying, like, by now they have done enough and won enough and brought in the right players and the right marketing team and et cetera, et cetera. Like the money is coming in itself. They'll be fine getting relegated. They're not going to lose out in the $100 and something billion that they're going to get from the Premier League. They'll be fine. Yeah. But we'll keep it going to the players. I didn't even mean to like rant about ticket prices and everything because overall that's really been bumming me out because that's all I've been doing is kind of just reading what people are saying yeah, about all of it and talking to friends and stuff. So let's talk about the team, and it's kind of the question is pick an attacker, midfielder, and defender who's going to have a good season. So maybe let's not look so far ahead. Let's look now. Who at the moment is playing the best attacker, a midfielder, and a defender?
So I'll start at midfield, and that's definitely Andre. Since he came in right near the end of the transfer window, his first game was tremendous. I think it was his third game before he finally had a misplaced pass. Just really strong, stalwart for the Brazilian national team, playing in defensive mid. So we'll see how he's used if we do indeed go to a back three or back five system. But he's been a real calming force. We like him a lot. Attacker, you can't go wrong with Matheus Cunha. He's always exciting. Even when he's not scoring goals, he's still finding ways to contribute to goals. And I mean, I do have to say Jurgen Strand Larson is going to be a really awesome number 9 as he continues to grow into that role. As far as defenders, woof. Look, probably our best defender right now in name only isn't even really a defender, and that's Ryan Aitnari, who plays left back if we're running a back four.
He's a baller.
But that's also kind of part of the problem is he's not really a good defender for a back four. He's much better left wing back. But yeah, he is a baller and just really creative. So, as our center backs, I would have said Jurgen Mosquera, but with him getting hurt, that's a real killer for us.
Yeah. And if you played in a back four, having Aitnari isn't bad. You would just need a center midfielder who loves defense. Like you would just need someone who needs to kind of just like sit back there and protect him when he goes up. And I mean, do you have a person like?
Oh yeah, Andre can do that for sure.
But I guess like
the issue is the center backs themselves aren't that great.
Okay.
We're gonna probably have Craig Dawson, Toti Gomez, and Santi Bueno. If we do run a back 3 line this weekend. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be a little bit better, but Toti Gomez and Craig Dawson didn't do that great against Brentford, letting in, what was it, 4 goals, 5 goals? I don't know. I stopped counting.
I mean, if we're gonna be
6
honest,
goals.
like Brentford, when it comes to, they are good defensively, but they are more focused on scoring. And if you're gonna play a ball game with Brentford, honestly, you're gonna lose. And even City, we didn't play the best against them. And Pep always gives the most respect to Brentford. And I give it, well, I say Pep, but I give the and everybody on the pod, we give the most respect for Brentford. And Wolves, you're notoriously sure we win, but a lot of them have been ugly.
Hey, we beat you guys last year without Rodri, so
I was gonna say you bogey us, and now we don't have Rodri again.
yeah.
That is it.
That one, I mean, the man, you know who the man of the match of that game was, right?
I don't remember any
It was
Manchester City
Matheus
loss.
Nunes, who got heckled so bad they took him off at halftime. So I hope he starts. This weekend.
Man, and you would think Pep would learn from that. I'm pretty sure he did that with Jack. He started Jack at Aston Villa on his first match there, and he got booed the fuck off of the pitch. And then he did it again to Nunes, and it was just like, what are you doing, my guy? Like, why would you do that? And I'm pretty sure he might actually start him again, because Pep, he he is the type where he's like pushing you out of a nest, and either you're gonna fly or you're gonna like burn everything down. And he's just like, it's okay, we'll come back, we'll just take you off a half if you're that bad, but we need to see what type of player you are. If you have that passion, that fire, if you can handle things. And Pep earlier this season, he speaks very highly of Nunes, but I mean that's Pep. He speaks highly of everybody.
Right.
But what he says is he's great in transition and in space, which is not what Pep does. So that's a thing, and that is why he's always played out on the wings, is because that's where he's gonna be able to play in transition and have space. So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, Nunes is, I enjoy him. He has shown class this season, so I don't want to get in trouble with.
Of course, knowing our luck, he'll start this weekend and score a brace or something against us. So
Yeah,
it's been
and
one of those years.
I've seen growth in him. He was great, but also Calvin Phillips looked fantastic when I saw him in two places. Well, he looked great in the practices. He did not look great in the games until he went to center back. But Pep doesn't want him as a center back, and that's also what Pep said. He was like, "Yeah, he's doing great at center back, but that's not what he's here for." So that's all right. Can we talk about something else though? Starting 11 for this match this weekend. What are you expecting? You said you're expecting 5.
Yeah, so we're expecting 5 at the back. So seeing as we only have 3 healthy center backs, it pretty much is easy to figure out on that side. In goal will be Sam Johnston again, more than likely. Then we'll start Craig Dawson, Santi Bueno, Tony Gomez, and at center back. Aitnery will probably play left wing back. Nelson Semedo right wing back. Now that's where the interestingness comes in, because we have been playing 3 at the midfield. I imagine if we go to a back 5, we'll be playing just 2, in which case Mario Lemina will play and probably Andre, but he also just got back from Brazil. So maybe João Gomez, one of those guys. And then, up top, we're looking at definitely Matheus Cunha and Strand Larson, and potentially, I don't know. What we'll do after. What is that? 5, 7, 8. I don't know who the third guy would be. It has been Bellegarde. Maybe Forbes, who just recently came in right before the transfer deadline. I could see him starting out wide as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I am never great at this, and I really didn't even. So let's see. We got Ederson at the back. Ake's not back yet, so there's Vardiol. We definitely are gonna have Diaz. I would like to see Stones, so I'm just gonna put him in there. So Stones, Diaz, center back pairing. Everybody wants Rico Lewis to just be there as our right back from now on, but Pep just loves annoying us. So I feel like this is, and especially because Wolves want to play counter-attacking football, I feel like that's a Walker. He has to be there. I would prefer a midfield pairing of Bernardo with Kovacic, Bernardo with Gundo, whatever. But Pep, who swore and said he wasn't going to use Bernardo as a right wing, and I understand Rodri's injury. Please, people relax. That made him have to change his words, but still, it's all about the principle and it's integrity. Hold on to it, Pep. Like, take him off of that. Because all he is a fancy midfielder. He doesn't care about the offense. He cares about possession. And then if he has also Grealish over there, all he cares about is possession. What are we doing? Oh, where am I? Bernardo, another old midfielder. Goodness gracious. He said KDB should be back. I am hoping that, but also I would love
I am hoping not.
Understandable. I would like Phil to be in that position. Phil is supposed to take that spot eventually. Better now. And so hopefully Phil. Left, I want the Spice Brothers. The Spice Brothers are Doku and Savio. I would love left and right, but I understand where, again, Wolves are going to want to get us on the counter, the transition. So it'll probably be Grealish and Savio. Savio is the hot hand at the moment over Doku. And obviously Holland up top because he's our only striker. Yeah, that'll be great. I'm excited.
Oh darn, we have to start early, Milan. Oh no. What are we Oh,
How are you feeling about this match though? Like how do you think it's gonna go? What do you got for a score prediction?
I feel like it's gonna start drinking early. Sunday. Yeah. Although, the Houston Texans play the Packers later that day, so maybe there's a chance to get a little bit of joy back. I made a prediction. Look, like I said, we did a seance tonight. I said 0-0 draw. It's probably not gonna happen. Probably more than it. I would say best case scenario for Wolves would be a 1-1 draw. Worst case scenario would be like 6-1, which I could see that happening too. I don't know. We're kind of a mess right now.
I like that. See this 6-1?
Yeah. But hey, we've pulled some surprises against y'all before, so we'll have to see.
Why you want to talk about old stuff? Like, why you want to talk about the past? Yeah,
because our present doesn't look too hot. So
you're lucky. I don't see us scoring 6. It's just we're still figuring out things.
De Bruyne, I think at one point 2 years ago was Wolves like the lead, tied for the leading goals in Molyneux. That's how absurd it was.
He balls out. He scored some goals, off of free kicks. He's done his thing at Molyneux. I'm hopeful. We're giving up a goal. That is a thing. Clean sheets for the men are not a thing. 3-2-1. We're not scoring 3. Until we can consistently score 3. I would like to believe it, but just without Rodri, there's so much he does in the predictive situation. He calms down a lot of small fires. He helps usher the ball up. He makes so much easier, and he forces a lot of other people to kind of do their thing. Like, and he defends, he dribbles, he passes, he distributes. And a lot of our players, at least in our midfield, their strong suit are only like one of those things. And unfortunately, both of them are kind of like running with the ball, are running without the ball, which is Kovacic is great with the ball. Gundo is amazing without the ball. But like sometimes you need to pass through the midfield, and that's where Kovacic needs to learn that.
Man City is actually 1.5 goal favorites. So there you go. That means
they could be a draw.
Score 1, and you're saying they can't score 3. That's a Wolves cover, baby. I would take it.
Honestly, that's what I'm saying. I would actually take the cover. Because that's all that cover says is it's going to be a draw. They think it's going to be a draw. If anyone thinks there's going to be a lot of goals in this match, Wolves are not going to. They're going to make this tough. I mean, it's home. It's Wolves. Like, what are you expecting? Sorry. I mean, I guess I know. I should be more. I'll let other people do that. I will be the nervous Nelly. My energy might change at our kickoff show, and I might be full of shit right an hour before the match and being like, all right, let's run it up on them. You know, who wants to wear a wolf's head? Sorry. My bad. I apologize.
Game of Thrones over here,
huh? Oh, man. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. Please let viewers and listeners know where they can find you, Wolves, Whole Lot of Wolves.
Yeah, you can find Whole Lot of Wolves on all the major podcasts where you can find your favorite podcasts. We're also on Twitter at WLW Pod. We're on, on there a lot. We're doing StreamYard, so we do broadcast the podcast live now on recording nights on YouTube. So that's pretty exciting. And you can join me, my co-host Paul LePage, and then we have Alex Patakis as our producer and Danny Paletti on the socials. So we got a good crew. We always like to, have a good time, drink and talk Wolves. Sometimes we have to drink a lot if we're talking about a game. That has the potential after this game. So, but yeah, if you are a Wolves fan or just interested and like English soccer and hearing Americans get drunk and talk about it, we're your show, baby.
Let's go. And we will be back with you all tomorrow. We have the Lit Stream, Kate Tixalar. We got Roberto Rojas. We got Kevin Cho. They coming through to come and chat. We have them on one at a time. That means the conversations, they flux. It's variety. It's fun. It's a good time. Bring some snacks, some beverages, and come kick it with us. And then early in the morning, 1 hour before kickoff for Manchester City men versus Wolverhampton, we will be here live on FanFest talking about the game, starting 11s, player matchups, score predictions. Sharpie Charlie always there with the betting odds, what he's doing for his bets. So come through. Always a good time. We'll see you soon. You know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady.